Chat, here we go. We got ourselves a nice match. It is Dralii versus Dark, and this is a matchup that I've been wanting to see for a while. I feel like they came onto the scene in similar-ish ways, with huge wins over top players and being very, very mechanical. Dralii originally made his big splash on the scene, beating Daniel, and I actually think that was probably Dark's key win in his 1v1 history, is his win over Daniel. But the bigger thing he's known for, of course, is bringing the Pogo meta into 1v1. Today, he's going to try and win the best of 3 against Dralii. Dralii is a player who hasn't been playing as much recently. I think I saw at least a couple people in the chat saying, who is Dralii? They knew Dark but hadn't heard of Dralii, and that just means you've probably been a 1v1 fan a little bit more recently, because there was a time when Dralii spent a brief moment as maybe even best in the world. He had some really great wins consecutively. Certainly was in the argument for the best to do it. And unfortunately, as all runs at the top come to an end, his came maybe a little bit faster. But still a top 1v1 player. Just because he's not literally the best in the world doesn't mean he isn't a very talented 1v1er. He's going to show that today against Dark. He changes his name a lot. I think Dark, you guys referencing to Dark. I had to put a nickname on Dark's account so that I could remember who he was, because it would change too frequently. And for logistical purposes, I need to know which account was his. Dralii, I think, is in the top 50 right now in terms of 1v1 rank. He can give you a good idea usually of who is, playing their ones game and is ready for a match like this. Dark seems to always be ready, despite the fact that he hasn't had a high ones rating since he first showed on the scene. I think when he was getting his first games, he was as high as top 12 or top 10. Oh, I said 12. But not so much anymore. Very interesting wall dashing into, a ceiling challenge on Dralii. He hasn't been able to get anything on the board yet. He's certainly been flying around the map at breakneck speeds. Dralii can't get this low 50. Dark's main mechanic that I feel like he's focusing on when I've watched him play the past few times is the dashing. He's trying to dash in every possible form. Sometimes it results in him giving away a fairly free goal. I think he didn't necessarily have to give that one up, but his desire to dash into the ball left him unable to protect against the challenge from Dralii. Here's one of the first times he's had enough space to do whatever he wants. He's going to take to the skies. This reset is falling just at the bottom of the net, so not likely going to be one of his famous pogos from that position. Instead, it was a reset shot that Dralii saved, so it's 5-0 in favor of Dralii. A lot of people have been waiting for the Dralii transfer to Canada. Right now, living in Morocco, has said in the past that he will be moving to Canada, where he would then be able to play RLCS, because Canada is allowed in the league. But he has yet to move. I think it's been rescheduled at least once in the past. Hopefully it doesn't get rescheduled much longer. But that is assuming that that's where Dralii wants to go. If he wants to go to Canada, maybe he'd rather stay in Morocco. I don't know. But for the sake of our RLCS fans, certainly, no matter where he ends up, they'd love to see him in a place where he can compete. Dralii, his flick stopped by Dark. Dark has a great counterattack starting right here. As long as he doesn't tap the ball too hard at the back wall, should be able to get around it. Right now it has been all Dralii attacking and not a lot of saving from Dark. I'm going to go ahead and see. There's a first fake kickoff. Oh, 3 saves for Dark on the 10 shots that Dralii's put on. So certainly a high scoring rate for Dralii. Dark needs to get his defense figured out. He hasn't spent a ton of time on offense yet, so it's hard to really say where he's at with that, sorry. But not too bad on the many shot attempts. But he was able to get off this fake kickoff possession, but Dralii was just good enough to keep them all out. He's going to take a while to air dribble down to the ground to try and make it a bounce to air dribble. Dark pre-jumps it. He's given loads of time to get the read. There's a crucial save from Dark. And maybe a chance for the series to start moving the other way. His camera is so crazy when you watch from his perspective. He is moving it at all times. He might have had an opportunity to score there. He wasn't able to secure. Pass to himself out of the corner. Bit of an all-in play. Can't really blame him, down 6-1. Dark out of the match. I don't know if he's forfeiting. I'm assuming he probably is. He wants to go next. Maybe these guys forgot that I have admin and I can end the game when they want to forfeit without leaving, but... Game number 2. Dralii and Dark. Dark had a bit of a rough start in the series so far, and this is a great sign going forward. Only able to get 1 goal to Dralii 7 in the first game. Had about a minute he could have tried to make it back up, but didn't want to. Great zap dash here to secure the kickoff goal, though he's likely to secure it no matter what. Another kickoff possession to Dark. He's going to take this into the back corner. So much camera movement as he goes there. He tries to punish Dralii for going to the ceiling to stop his aerial attack. But Dralii's still able to fall back and get the save. Dark is just trying to play at absolute Mach speed at all times. Goalfield dribble now. All the way from the back corner. Reset to the left. Dralii has to save. He never overcommitted. He was coming into... Oh, no, Dralii! Dralii, that absolutely should have been a goal. He was setting up his defense from the left side of the net, and often players creep past the post and leave a window open. Dralii didn't do that, and then he had a free counterattack, and he just missed it. So he's still down 1-0. What a shot from Dralii. Ties it up now on a bounce to air dribble. Great reset to give it the extra speed. 104 km/h for Dralii. Dark's fake kickoff read at least partially by Dralii, and he's able to chip the ball up and steal the back corner boost, so it's not going to be the best position. Dark decides to go all the way back to the corner and comes to pre-jump. Dralii, he intercepts it, but he has no boost left over. If he had any, he would have won that race back to the ball. Oh, I'm surprised. The way I see Dralii, or sorry, the way I see Dark playing so far, I can't believe he didn't try and challenge in the corner there. Certainly it would have been a risk, but it seems like there's no risk that he hasn't deemed worth taking so far in the series. But looks like he wisely backs off and is able to control this shot into the corner and get a demo and follow up for another lead. Dralii, direct kickoff goal. I believe it was standard for both these guys. Yes, just in favor of Dralii. Why is Dralii wearing a Season 2 Grand Champ title? To be fair, in Season 2, Dralii was probably super young. I mean, how long ago was Season 2? Oh, wait, it depends. What Season 2? Then I forgot. Is it the new Season 2 that he's wearing? Because if so, that is an interesting thing to... Okay, yeah, it's a new Season 2. I was going to say, if he had the original Season 2, then he's bragging that when he was like 9 years old, that he was Grand Champ, which is pretty impressive. But it's the new one. Dralii trying to get a double off the ceiling. Got a really strong shot, but it's too high. It was enough to make Dark jump in the air and attempt to save. Dark, this pre-jump doesn't work. How close was he to intercepting it? Decides to just reverse it, pre-jump, hovering, covering a lot of angles, just not all of them. Thank you for the 12 months of Tier 1. RW is our savior. I believe that's how that said, right? 1 full year of support. Appreciate that. Snowish, thank you for the brand new Tier 1. The beginning of 1 year, certainly. Ooh, Dark. Crazy dashes to get back to this one. It did look like he had lost the race to the ball at the ceiling, and he was able to remedy that. Some of these crazy dashes he insists on incorporating to his game. And I tell you what, the whole world will likely appreciate this workshopping he's doing on how often you can use dashes. No question that already the world has adopted a lot of his pogoing. Dralii will intercept this aerial. Make it 4-2. Dark. I don't know if you could see Dralii behind the ball that whole time. How old is Dralii? I think Dralii's 16 now, but he might even be approaching 17. Dralii hovering behind this aerial, able to win the 50. Doing the exact opposite, or at least what Dark was wishing he could have done when he had his air dribble. But Dark's dashing has certainly got him many goals. He wants to counterattack and he wants to use those dashes to do so. Dralii, super aggressive challenge, or ambitious challenge, I should say, as he goes for a wave dash at 0 boost up on the side wall in the corner. Not very likely to go his way. Dralii does not play in the RLCS, by the way. That's because he currently resides in Morocco, which is not allowed to participate in the RLCS, but there's a small chance he goes back to Canada. Canada, of course, is allowed. Dark dashing himself off the wall. He's got to hand the ball over to Dralii, who just takes the pass and slams it into the net. I say has to hand over. I'm not sure if he really does have to hand over. He felt like he did. Could probably just let the ball roll into the corner. We've been better off, but instead, side flips it. Lets Dralii take the long shot. Dralii is 15. He really isn't 16 yet. I thought for sure he was 16. I thought it's almost been a year since he's been 16. So, but I could definitely be wrong. So. Maybe, you know what it is? I think the reason why I'm thinking 16 is because he said he'll be able to play when he's 16, which was, you know, maybe a year since he has been 15. Dark, 30 seconds. A double reset shot is saved by Dralii. The aerial wonders of Dark so far have not been able to get past Dralii's defense. And Dark seemed like he was there, but it'll be a 6th goal for Dralii. The air roll into the shot leads to the game secure. Strongman Samson, thank you for the brand new Prime. He's 15 and a half. That makes sense. Here I am saying he's 17. I think when he had said he would be able to play when he was 16, I just assumed that meant he was 16 in my head. Yo, Just Mike, thank you for the Prime. It is prime time indeed. Prime until full time. That's the movement happening around here. Dark. Not going to let this one drop. So Dralii will slap it to the ground. 2-0 for Dralii. Dark's going to have to find something new. Game number 3. How close would a Dralii versus Zen matchup be in your eyes? I think Zen is heavily favored in that matchup. Game number 3. Dralii and Dark. The time is now. Or never for Dark. He wants to get going in this series. Kickoff win. That's how he got started in the previous game. Had a kickoff win, but Dralii's defense on aerials has maybe been the biggest frustration for Dark. This time off the ceiling. Still so quick to the ball. Approaches so perfectly such that even if Dark had used the reset, not even sure it would have made Dralii miss. I think he just had a really good setup. And Dralii's going to own goal. Dralii's going to own goal. And that will help Dark. That could be the beginning of things turning in this tide. He says close one. And said he mistyped his quick chat. Dralii versus Zen would be closer than you think. I tell you what, Dralii took down Daniel when he seemed unbeatable. So who's to say he couldn't do it to Zen as well? It all depends on whether or not Dralii's back on form. I've seen a lot of different versions of Dralii, and when he is not playing a ton of Rocket League, you know, just like anybody would. He can fall off of his top form. I'm not sure how much he's been playing recently. I know he's been playing more than he was for a while. I mean, he fully quit for a few months. I don't think he's fully quit. But I tell you what, he is looking good today. And he is not letting Dark get away with anything at all. Dark trying to challenge off the kickoff. Is Dralii back on the scene gunning for Zen? I don't know if he's necessarily gunning for Zen. Maybe anybody who's playing a lot of 1v1 show matches, you could argue, is gunning for Zen, since Zen, I would say, is at the very top right now. Dark. Stylish setup, but it doesn't matter if Dralii has the save. What's Dralii's decal? You talking about the previous game? Because it looks like he doesn't have a decal this time. Oh wait, it does look like he has a decal. It is colored slightly. Or is it just is he just doing some secondary paint that shows up? I don't really know. Dralii off the back wall. A low full field dribble. Not likely to make it the whole way. So Dark will be able to intercept it. As it lands far from the nets. Dark get this crazy double reset to the net. It would have been, but Dralii taking advantage of how far off the ball that Dark fell. Making it possible for him to steal the ball away. Dark taps this over Dralii, but into his possession. Now it's Dralii on the air dribble. Dark off the wall. Can't stop the shot. Dralii is in the zone right now. Thank you for the 57 months, Swarls. Dralii just positioned that shot so well that Dark had to hesitate on the back wall. Couldn't just jump straight off, and then was forced awkwardly in front of the net. Dark swung around the ball. Seems like he was trying to steal the midfield boost to starve Dralii out, but ultimately decided not to go for it. This time the ceiling forces Dark down to the ground. And as he tries his best to block the ball, he can't quite do it. Dark now down 6-1, but forfeiting now would be the end of the series. You got to cast an RLCS announcers 2v2 tournament. Did you guys watch that on Corelli's? Air dribble bump from Dark. Trying to go back to overlap, but that was actually a really fast recovery on a position in the net that should have been awkward for a landing. Got him back in time for a save, and now he's trying to quickly counterattack, but Dralii is there. Ooh, everything that he's doing, Dralii has covered. I mean, I think Dark's looking like he's having a bit of a rough day, but a lot of that has to be credited to Dralii, who has just been masterful on defense. Dark can't get it clear. 7-1. Dark's going to throw the GGs. It's a sweep, man. Dralii looking really good today as he takes Dark down in 3. My goodness. Dralii back on form. I want to see if I can get Dralii to play another one.